What if I told you that success isn't just about hard work or talent? That there are hidden patterns, unseen forces, shaping the fate of the world's top performers? This isn't just a book. It's a wake-up call. Today, we're diving into Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And if you stick with me, you'll walk away with tools that will change how you think about success forever. Now let's understand, what or who is an outlier? An outlier is someone who lies far outside the average, someone who achieves extraordinary success. But Gladwell says outliers don't make it on their own. Behind every success story is a complex mix of timing, opportunity, and background. Gladwell's most famous idea? The 10,000-hour rule. That's the amount of deliberate practice it takes to achieve world-class performance. Whether it's the Beatles playing nonstop in Hamburg, or Bill Gates coding as a teen. But here's the real question. Are you making time for what you want to master? In Outliers, Gladwell challenges the idea of the self-made individual. He argues that while intelligence and effort are important, they don't operate in isolation. Success, he says, is often the result of hidden advantages, things like access to resources, supportive environments, cultural values, and sheer timing. You might be thinking, so are we just products of luck? Not exactly. Gladwell doesn't discount hard work. What he's saying is, we've been telling an incomplete story about success, one that overlooks the environment in which talent grows. When I read this book, I found myself thinking back on my own life. I used to believe that everything came down to grinding harder, staying up later, working longer, pushing more. But Outliers made me ask, what invisible factors shaped my journey? The mentors I had, the year I graduated, the tools I had access to. It's humbling, and honestly kind of liberating, to realize that success isn't just about what we do, but also about the stage we're playing on. Gladwell introduces another powerful idea. The Matthew effect, based on a Bible verse that says, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Applied to success, it means small initial advantages compound over time. One surprising example? Youth hockey. Kids born earlier in the year tend to be bigger and more mature than their peers, so they get picked for elite teams, receive better coaching, and develop faster. All because of their birth month. These small differences snowball, creating a massive gap down the line. It's a reminder that success is often built on a head start we don't even realize we have. Another underrated part of Outliers is the concept of cultural legacy, the powerful inherited habits and beliefs passed down through generations that shape how we think and behave. For instance, Gladwell explains how Korean Air's poor safety record wasn't due to bad pilots or bad planes. It was due to a culture that placed too much respect on hierarchy, which led to poor cockpit communication. He also explores why students from certain Asian cultures tend to excel at math. Not because they're smarter, but because of deep-rooted agricultural traditions that reward persistence and patience. So, what do we do with all this insight? For one, we can start recognizing that the playing field isn't level, and that we all have a role to play in widening access to opportunity. If you're a teacher or coach, it might mean rethinking how you define talent and potential. If you're a parent, it might mean paying attention to how the education system favors some kids over others just based on age or background. Outliers reminds us that success isn't just about rewarding the already gifted. It's about creating conditions where more people can thrive. Now the big question is who should read this and why it matters. This book is for everyone, but especially for those who feel like they're putting in the effort and still getting left behind. It's for students, teachers, leaders, parents, entrepreneurs, anyone curious about what really drives success in the real world. And it's not just informational, it's empowering. Because once you understand that success isn't purely meritocratic, you stop blaming yourself for every shortfall. You start seeing the bigger picture. And you might even feel inspired to help someone else get their 10,000 hours, their lucky break, their shot. Here's my honest take. Outliers is a brilliant book. It's readable, thought-provoking, and full of stories you'll remember long after you close the cover. Gladwell has a gift for taking data and turning it into a narrative that actually matters. That said, it's not perfect. Some critics say he oversimplifies or selects examples that fit his theory a little too well. And the 10,000-hour rule has since been debated. It's not a hard and fast number. and it depends heavily on the quality of practice. But still, the book succeeds in what it sets out to do. It makes us question what we think we know about success, and invites us to dig deeper. If there's one thing I hope you take from Outliers, it's this: success isn't solo. No one makes it entirely on their own. We're all shaped by timing, culture, community, and sometimes sheer luck. But once we understand those forces, we can begin to level the playing field. So here's a challenge. Reflect on the invisible hands that helped you get where you are, and then ask yourself, whose story can I help shape next? Maybe the next outlier isn't someone we find. Maybe it's someone we invest in. Thanks for watching today's summary and review. If you found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Got a book you want us to cover next? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.